where events that were planned have not rolled out the way they planned them to.
Right. And there's that last-minute potential change of mind or fouling of plan, whether by, it didn't work out because of some humongous effort by an individual that's a James Bond type, or they just kind of postponed their plan. We don't know. But, that does not mean, Kerry, that when we predict or find information that points to a problem that's supposed to happen, when it doesn't happen, we ought to be thankful, but it didn't mean they weren't intending to have that event happen. It just didn't happen for some other reason. And I think that's real important. The other thing is that the notion of what prophecy is really about is warning one of something that's going to happen if our ways of thinking, if our consciousness doesn't change, if something is slated to happen, then it may actually take place. So there's that aspect. So we have only got a few minutes here, and I know you're going to segue onto your program, and I want to encourage all our listeners to stay tuned and listen in on your guest, because it sounds like a fascinating whistleblower in regard to the Anglo-Saxon mission that we're all very interested in, learning more about. But do you have any last words that you'd like to put here, just to make people aware of that, just right this minute? Well, I think I'd have to agree with people like Miriam. We're working to try and get people to get in community. We're encouraging people to go to farmers markets and establishing a rapport and a business with your local grower. And not because we can't grow food, but the mass growing people might get affected. And right now we had a sign in our local large grocery store. It wasn't a Walmart type, but it's a large chain, and they're saying they're going to have food shortages, so get ready. And that's in the grocery stores now. So I'm encouraging people to kind of get their hands dirty, get out there, get some dirt, get connected with some people in your community, and that's something that we're going to be announcing at the first part of our next hour here. And Tobias is going to bring us an update. So I'd encourage people to get involved. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and not just sit back and watch events transpire. And one of the things that people have to also, I think, be aware of is that through meditation and by changing your own vibrations, by making positive change in your own life, you're actually affecting the greater whole. There is the butterfly effect. In fact, there's something called the Lorenzo effect, I believe. And I'm wondering, are you familiar with that? And I know we have no time to go into it, but can you just say yes or no?
Kerry, this is a big topic, and yes, there is an effect on the body. We are now finding that these chips cause tumors in animals that have been chipped now. So frequencies do make a difference, and we can change those. But we have to just actually, one of the best ways to do it is just become active. That makes you focus, that makes you think, and then your mindset starts changing. But we still have to be confident, or we have to know why we're doing it, be motivated. So we have to be kind of smart and kind of balance all this out.
Yeah, and that's very good note to end on there, because I think that the way you live your life at this time is more important than ever for the greater whole. And that's a really interesting way of looking at things. I think a lot of people think perhaps what they do in their everyday life is rather unimportant to the greater whole. But as we're seeing, every person counts, and every person that joins this sort of struggle or this battle for the right, and I have to say it is to some degree a battle on the third dimension here, moving to the fourth. That it's how you think that's really going to change the energy out there.
Well, Kerry, I'd like to end by saying again, welcome to Arguso Radio. We're really happy you're here and that you have your voice back on the radio. And many, many people are, I'm sure, just as happy as we are. And we just hope that you can continue here as long as you need to and feel you have the need to. So welcome to Arguso Radio.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. John Waterman. I really appreciate it. This has been a great first show, and lots of activity going on, both in in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. And I think we can look forward to some more fascinating shows in the future, definitely. I will be away and out of town on an interview next week, but the week after I should be back and be reporting in as to what's going on. So we have a song coming up here, and then I believe, John Waterman, you're going to be live on the radio in your own show.
We'll be live with the Waterman Files.
Okay, and this is Kerry Cassidy from Project Camelot Whistleblower Radio, projectcamelot.org.